So, sind wir online? Ich heiße euch recht herzlich willkommen zu einem weiteren Let's Play. Einer wunderschönen Zeit, Dienstag 6 Uhr abends, heute am 9. November auf dem Captive Ape Channel. Ich bin euer Host mit dem Kaffee, Mirko. Ja, ich grüße euch alle recht herzlich. Und ja, ich will gar nicht. Die Ladezeit ist eh länger, als man meinen möchte. So, da befinden wir uns wieder in unserem Eingangszimmer. Das letzte Mal haben wir geschlafen, weil wir uns ein bisschen, und da ist ein bisschen Zeit vorangeschritten. Das möchte ich mir mal angucken. Na, von dem haben wir gehört, aber haben aber noch nichts gemacht. Und der Junge ist das Schiff. Das ist der Mann in der Kneipe. Da gibt es ja so einiges. Über die haben wir auch noch ein Geheimnis herausgefunden. Ah, und das ist der Ikabaratesh, das habe ich letztens mich erinnert. Es ist ja noch ein dritter Doktor da. Aber wie dem auch sei, wir sind gerade hier in den Docks und wir sind in der Nähe von dem von der guten lieben Kneipe. Dann wollen wir doch mal schauen, dass wir da mal was rankriegen hier. Wir haben uns letztes Mal auch jede Fertigkeit einmal gekauft.
Good evening, sir.
Whatever.
Don't you recognize me? We met a few nights ago.
Don't take it personally. I spent a lot of energy forgetting what I did the night before.
Yes, you had definitely drunk too much then as well. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
I'm Dyson Delaney. I'll try to remember you. This time.
What do you do for a living, Mr. Delaney?
I drink. I drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night. And then I drink some more.
Why do you drink so much?
Maybe it's because I prefer dying slowly. Death can be so abrupt. Personally, I like to see mine coming at my own pace.
You sound very sad, sir.
That's because I am Doc.
Don't you work at all?
I'd love to, but I don't have the time. Didn't I tell you? Drink in the morning and at noon. I drink at night.
Ja, Typ.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
No reason at all to rejoice, then. Life is hopeless and then we die, is that it?
Let me tell you a story.
All right. Go on.
A few years ago, when I believed a resolute man could change things around here for good, a tragedy occurred nearby.
What kind of tragedy?
It was a bomb. Bomb that exploded and killed many people. Metal and blood everywhere. Shouts, fire, broken window of the shoe shop. torn streetlight.
You lost people you loved that day, didn't you?
I've lost everything. But you know what the worst part is? I don't even remember where it happened. I've drunk so much to forget it. Now I can't remember where it was. I can't pay my homage to the dead.
I'm sorry, Mr. Delaney.
It's okay. If you ever find the place, just leave a flower for me there. Even if you tell me where it is. I'm not sure I'd memorize it.
Abgefahren.
Is there anything in particular that you like about this part of town? Except for the cheap drinks, I mean.
How dare you say such a thing? I love this neighborhood. So friendly. So joyful.
Why are you so cynical?
Cynicism is the polite way to express despair, Doctor.
Surely you must have had dreams and expectations when you were young, like everybody else.
Sure. I wanted things to change. To really change. And to change for good. The bigger the dream, the harder the fall.
Sounds like you were an idealist, which is honorable.
No, sir. I was an anarchist and I believed that exclusive property is a robbery in nature. I wanted a new world to rise from the ashes, Dr. Reed.
Do you really think the world is that bad?
No, I believe we all can choose to make it better. But most of us are too weak, too corrupt and too guilty. I failed for sure, but others will come.
I want to know more about your past as an anarchist, Dyson.
I'm still an anarchist, Doctor, make no mistake. I just reject violence as a tool to change the world, unlike my comrades.
Do you still see your comrades, then? Even if you don't agree with their methods anymore, I mean.
No. I hope they'll come to share my point of view one day. I'll raise my glass to that splendid idea.
Do you believe in a bloodless revolution, then?
I do not believe in much anymore, Doctor. But I'll admit I like your idea of peaceful change. I like it a lot.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
I think I'm losing my mind. I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
Good evening, Tom.
Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? Back to the docks, are we?
You remember me, then?
Of course I do. You're that man who seemed so lost when he entered my bar a few nights ago.
Thank you for your hospitality. I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way.
I'm still Tom Watts. Welcome back, Doctor.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's not that bad. Thanks to people like the sad saint of the East End.
Who?
Sean Hampton, our own private holy figure. Few are foolish enough to make peace with the gangs. Sean is one of them.
Ja, der Barkeeper hat bestimmt einiges zu erzählen.
How is it you can keep this place open? This part of town doesn't seem particularly safe.
Well, since everybody needs a drink, my pub is considered neutral ground by most groups.
Tja, das ist auch interessant, ja.
I see. So you get pressure from all sides about how this place should be run, do you?
Or something like that. Nothing that a few wise words and a bottle of gin can't solve.
You're something of a figurehead around here.
I'm only pouring alcohol for everyone to forget their troubles. Sean Hampton is the one giving them long-term hope.
Since I'm here, is there anything I can do?
Well, perhaps, Doctor. Peace partly depends on my stock of gin. With the epidemic, my supplies are running low.
How could a physician help you in this matter?
I have a small warehouse just past the quarantine line. Perhaps, with you being a doctor, you could go there and come back?
Doctors aren't immune to disease, you know. Very well. Show me where it is. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank you, sir. Here's the key to get in. You're about to save many dry throats.
Ja, das ist doch mal eine schöne Aufgabe. Da kann man sich mal ein bisschen austoben. Wahrscheinlich gibt es da wieder ein paar Gags, die man weghauen darf.
Sabrina seems very fond of you, Tom.
I like her too. I really do. I know I'm her boss, and I'm much older and all. But I like her for sure.
What is bothering you then?
Sabrina is an angry one. She wears it like a coat. I'm not sure I can make her shed that anger. It hurts to see her like that.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
So few clients.
Evening, miss.
Well, I never. That's a first. Customers who make that much mess rarely come back. Never mind in fancy togs.
I'm much more myself than when we first met. By the way, I'm Jonathan, Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome back to the Turquoise Turtle then, Doctor. I'm Sabrina Cavendish. How can I help you?
Da wir die Leute ja jetzt im Grunde neu kennenlernen, ja, ihr denkt euch bestimmt den
What can
Teil.
you tell me about this area?
People don't appreciate that line of questioning round here. You best be more careful with what you say, sir.
You look concerned, Miss Cavendish.
This is a bad borough. Most people I know are afraid. Most locals will rob you blind, or worse. You best mind your step.
Ich finde diese Fragen oft, mal gucken. Keiner fühlt sich sicher, ich fühle mich. Ich fürchte mich nicht. Ja. Nobody's safe at these times.
So you and your friends all feel in danger? No exceptions?
Tom's the only exception I've come across until now. But he's not like everybody else.
This place seems, how shall I put it, very colourful. I'm sure it has plenty of stories to tell.
We get people of all sorts here. It's that rare place in the docks where you can have a drink without being murdered. At least it's not happened yet.
So this bar is neutral territory then?
Yeah. Tom's convinced this is something the locals need. No one ever draws a weapon here. That's one of the reasons I accepted the job.
Your boss must be quite the negotiator to force such an agreement.
Yeah. Tom's a great bloke. Mr. Hampton, who runs the night asylum, he's the only other man that's able to keep peace around here.
Excuse my curiosity, but where exactly are you from, Miss Cavendish?
Something bothering you? What, my name? Or my complexion?
I'm sorry if I worried you. I was just curious to find out if you know this part of town well.
Nosy. My dad was a sailor from Bombay, and my mum was a maid born up in Glasgow. They got married in London. And here I am.
Believe me, I never judge someone on their place of birth or the colour of their skin.
If that's true, you'd be one of the few not to make fun of me. Just you, Tom, Dyson, Miss Fishburne, and of course Mr. Hampton.
Sabrina, Tell me about your true feelings for your boss.
I love Tom. Not ashamed of it. Don't care if the customers joke about it neither.
Who's mocking you?
I mean, we're always together. People will talk, won't they?
Does Tom love you?
Yeah, but he's always reluctant to take it further. It's not because I'm younger, or because of the colour of my skin. He hates jokes about us.
Goodbye, Miss Cavendish.
So few clients. What with the epidemic, no one dares go outside.
I should just run as far away from this place as I can.
So, dann rauben wir den Guten erstmal aus. Sehr, sehr interessant. Ah, ja, aber er hat ja... Und ja, ich habe mich im Internet mal erkundigt und herausgefunden, dass dieses Spiel ein sehr eigensinniges Loot-System hat, in dem jedes Mal, wenn man schlafen geht, ich möchte aber beinahe schon behaupten, dass es da schon darum geht, nicht wenn man schlafen geht, sondern wenn man sich aus der Umgebung entfernt. Dann respawnt das Loot, alles willkürlich, alles zufällig. Was eigentlich sehr gut ist. Muss ich sagen. Zumindest ist meine Verwirrung jetzt nicht mehr so hart, weil ich habe ja schon an mir selbst gezweifelt, was da Sache ist im Grunde. Ich habe gedacht, ich renne ja hier rum. Ich muss die Hälfte meiner Spiele neu spielen. Ich meine, ich habe immer noch einen schlechten Orientierungssinn, aber ich bin jetzt nicht mehr so verunsichert.
It's locked.
Alright. Alright. Okay, das geht nirgendwo hin. Ja, deswegen. Die Selbstzweifel habe ich abgelegt.
Good evening, sir. I'm amazed you made it back to the docks alone. Good for you.
Well, I could say the same about you, young man. More to the point, who the hell are you?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
And I am Archer Woodbead. Please excuse my assertiveness. I often forget I'm just an old prune.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
People used to feel safe around here. They had the gangs protecting them. Now all they do is bicker and plot against one another.
Missing the good old days, are you not?
Trust me, son. The longer you live, the less meaning your existence will have. You need to remember the days you still had beliefs.
And what about the gangs?
Back in my day, people trusted the wet boot boys. We looked out for the docks and its families. Nowadays, they're just a bunch of greedy fuckers.
You were a gang member.
I was their leader for a time, believe it or not. Now these bastards act like I'm nothing. Not one of them. They owe me some damn respect.
If you are such a respected figure, surely you have many interesting stories about this part of town.
You bet I do, but make no mistake. I'm no rat, sir. Some secrets are best left buried.
Do you still know anyone? From the old days, I mean.
Most of them are dead. I still give Miss Gillingham salutations. She doesn't remember me. She did once like me. Boy, she was a beauty back then.
Any remarkable new faces around here?
Nobody. Well, there's that boy Rufus the Curse. I like him, despite the reputation he's made since his parents died. Poor little bastard.
Who would you trust around here?
The owner of the Turquoise Turtle's a decent fella. Tom's his name. Sean Hampton's all right too. Don't particularly share his religious views. He's quite devout, if you catch my meaning.
I'm sure a district as colorful as the docks must have plenty of stories about strange visitors and creepy characters.
So, you want me to talk about the sewer dog, don't you?
If you don't mind.
The sewer dog is a bitch. Appropriately named. An old woman dressed in rags. She has an elegance, though. Despite her ugliness. I saw her once. Scared the life out of me.
Eine Frau. Mhm.
Have you always been so bitter?
It's not bitterness, it's poorly masked disgust. When everything turns to shit, we all have to eat a spoon or two.
With everything that's happened recently, the war, Spanish flu, I must concede that these are difficult times.
A few nights ago, I saw a kid eating a rat. He was right in front of one of those abandoned houses nearby. Just chewing on a living rat's insides.
Tell me about the Wet Boot Boys, Archer. I want to know more.
We were there for the families and each other. It was us against the world. We were vicious, tough, even cruel. But we were united.
You sound like you were some kind of radical union member.
Yes, nowadays the communists and gangs squabble over pointless territory. Sounds stupid when you say it out loud.
Tell me everything you know about the Guard of Priwen.
Andrew never told me what they do. I do know they're vigilantes with military training. Access to some impressive firepower.
And what is your personal opinion about the Guard, then?
This Guard of Priwen is just another gang preying on the young and naive. Preying on people like my boy. I know how it works. I invented it.
Why did your son really join the Guard of Priwen?
If I believed in a higher power, I'd see this as punishment for my own sins. I deserve it for all the young men I enlisted back in the day.
You don't believe in God, though, do you, Mr. Woodbeard? So why did he join?
Now I think about it, Andrew joined the Guard, not to defy me, but to follow in my footsteps, to make me proud.
So your son has left you nothing to explain his actions? No letter or message?
Not even a note. I'm a proud man, Dr. Reed. But I would kneel and pray if I thought it would give me my Andrew back.
Goodbye, sir.
So, ja, ja. Da ist noch einer. Ich glaube aber, mit dem haben wir schon geredet.
Hello, boy.
Nee.
Hello. Good evening.
Did I scare you? You have nothing to fear from me.
No, it's just that people prefer to avoid me.
Well, I won't. I'm a doctor.
My name is Rufus, sir. Rufus Kingsbury.
Das Blutarmut.
What can you tell me about this region?
It's all about staying out of trouble. But since most people prefer to avoid me, it's pretty easy.
Why do people avoid you?
They call me Rufus the Curse. Around here, I'm a bit of a bad luck charm.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Where else would I go? At least I know these streets and some people around here. This is my city, for better or worse.
What do you do around here, Rufus?
I listen to the news on the docks, sir. And I smile at those kind enough to spare me a bob.
Do you have a job?
It's hard to work, what with my head and all. Since I was a boy, I've always had trouble remembering what I do and why I do it.
What do people say about this place?
Things have been tense between the wet boot boys and the communists. They both feel they should run the docks.
Are you alone? Where is your family?
I don't have any. My parents are dead.
So you have no home? You're sleeping rough?
No. I mean, yes. I live on the streets. I have no home.
You should be careful, Rufus. There are things that lurk in the shadows of this city. Things that prey on the lonely and the desperate.
Well, I've known worse. I'm not all alone. I have Mrs. Fishburne. She's been very kind to me.
Why do you think she's so considerate?
I can't say, sir. I guess she's a good soul. Sometimes it's like she replaces the mother I lost, even if we're not related.
Are you alone? Where is your So you...
No.
You should...
I've known...
Why do you think...
I can't say...
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Ich weiß nicht warum, aber ich finde die Sprachausgabe sau gut.
Hatred. A wave of bitter death.
Good evening, Mr. Fishburne.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne. Good evening, madam. I'm Dr. Reed. Could I come in?
Why? What do you want?
I work at the Pembroke Hospital. I'm investigating the flu epidemic in this area.
Oh, the Spanish flu. Well, that's quite liberal of you, Doctor. But this is no time to be knocking at people's doors.
Oh, ich muss nur rein. Oh.
I'll leave you then. Good night. It's locked, all right.
Genau, wir hatten doch hier, ist das in den Docks? Okay, mal gucken, wie wir da rüberkommen. Ach so, ja, ich sehe es schon. Ja, okay.
I cannot enter.
Federn.
There's safer places to be than here. Speak English, do ya?
So, aber wir haben den Sprung, wir haben die Lanze, den möchte ich nicht. Ich möchte die Schattennebel. Weil die Lanze kann ich mir noch einigermaßen vorstellen, das ist irgendwas geradeaus, einzeln. Aber was soll das sein? Der erzeugt eine Schattenwolke an den Füßen anderer. Schauen wir mal. Und ansonsten versuchen wir es mal mit den Zweihandwaffen. Ja, alles klar.
Best turn around if I were you. Oi, watch yourselves! There's one of them!
So. Wow, der ist voll stark geworden. Von 25 auf einmal auf 55. Wenn ich das richtig im Kopf habe. Mein lieber Scholli. Wo wird da wohl...
Tom has so much alcohol, he could keep this district afloat for quite some time.
Guter Geschäftsmann.
Easy does it, boys. Ah! It ain't you. Christ, he's dead. Let's see how it likes a bit of fire.
Ich glaube, ich sollte noch ein bisschen üben. Ich habe gedacht, das ist ja was zum Aufheben. Okay. 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 Au! Ich kann... Echt? Na, also Spiel. Also das ist ja mal... Ich kann mich nur an bestimmten Orten teleportieren und das Spiel möchte, dass ich jetzt quasi einmal um das Ding laufe. Tatsache. Unglaublich. Aber das Level-Up spürt man definitiv. Also das war ja erst unser allererstes Level-Up. Ich wundere mich auch, was das Level Cap ist. Ach, jetzt kann ich hier hoch. So ein Unsinn. Also sowas wie eine...
This is despicable. I have this thirst for blood. This is despicable.
Ja, Jonathan Reed, jetzt regen Sie sich mal nicht mehr auf. Mr. Reed. Ah, ich weiß es endlich. Oh Gott, Wer kann mir sagen, aus welchem Film Mr. Reed ist? Mr. Reed. Mr. Reed. Also ich versuche das Handy dann in die Seitentasche in seinem Hemd reinzustecken, weil gerufen wird. Mr. Reed. Was will ich denn mit dem Gin? Ganz ruhig, Freundchen. Hier war der Anna und hier sind die abgehauen.
It's locked.
Was? Die Tür lässt sich von dieser Seite nicht öffnen.
It's locked, all right. I cannot enter.
I got that. Then let's return, shall we? Let's do this. Return. Ah, ich will immer schnell rennen. Warte, was? Kreis lange gedrückt halten.
Welcome back, Doctor. What can I do for you?
You lied to me, Tom. Your warehouse wasn't empty. It was inhabited with armed vigilantes.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reed, but I thought those Prewen guards would be willing to let someone like you pass without trouble.
That was devious of you, Tom. Next time you can bloody well go yourself.
I apologize, Doctor, but it's just that I prefer to avoid the law, its enforcers, and all manner of thugs in uniform.
Here is your booze. I hope it will appease your customers. Just try not to kill anyone with this poison of yours.
Believe me, Doctor, most of my customers are less agreeable when sober.
Tell me about your arrest for attempted murder, Tom.
I tried to kill someone. I got arrested. I paid my debt and I have nothing to hide.
So you mean your customers know about your sordid past?
Yeah, why do you think this is the last pub open? I have nothing to hide and I don't judge. That's a relief for many round here.
Do you think prison changed you? Made you a better man?
Oh, I don't know about that. All I brought back is bad memories, scars, and an ugly tattoo of a blue turtle.
But do you feel cleansed of your sins?
All I know is that I'm at peace. I did what I did, but I wouldn't do it again. Does that make me a better man? I don't know.
Ein sehr aufrichtiger Mann.
Why not leave town and start a new life after you got out of jail?
I grew up in the East End. This is where my roots are. This is where I want to help others and die, eventually.
Do you think the docks will always be a hive of scum and villainy?
As long as poverty and fear run the show, I don't see how it would change. Misery loves company, as they say.
Don't you feel threatened, staying in such a violent and criminal neighborhood?
I've made peace with my violent past, Dr. Reed. I may not be a pacifist, but I'm not angry anymore.
You attempted murder. Give me some details.
I was given an order to kill. I was an obedient gang member at the time. A proud, wet boot boy.
Why did you join the gang?
Because I finally felt useful. Do you have any idea what it means to feel respected when the rest of the world shits on you?
Ja, das ist genau der Punkt, ja.
So you were ordered to kill someone. What happened then?
I don't know if you can possibly understand, but I couldn't kill him. I just stood there pointing my gun. Someone saw me. I gave up.
Why couldn't you shoot?
My target was eating in that fancy restaurant with mirrors and music. He was eating, drinking, laughing. He was having such a good time. I hated him for his bottomless appetite and easy life of easy pickings. And then something happened.
Oh Gott. Oh Gott, warum denn so eine offene Frage? Sie hat begriffen, wie traurig sie waren. Was? Sie hatten Angst zu töten? Ich glaube eher nicht. Sie haben sich in ihn hineinversetzt.
You refused to kill him because you wanted to feel some of that happiness yourself. You empathized with him.
Exactly. The man was a bloody landlord who rented overpriced flats. A selfish bastard. But he made me smile. And I was no different from him.
Yeah.
Why does your waitress feel in danger working on the docks?
This part of town is dangerous for all, but for women it's worse, as always. Sabrina is a brave girl, but she can't help feeling in danger.
Do you think she has good reason to feel this way? Are you not worried about her safety?
Of course I am. The truth is, she's tougher than me deep inside. She just has to learn to control it.
Goodbye, Mr. Watts.
Not long ago.
Times like these, a good drink's just as likely to
I
cause a
hope I
problem
live
as
long
to
enough to
solve
see
one.
them wet boot boys get what's coming to them.
Hey, mein junger Freund.
Good
Hier, du
evening,
kriegst Medizin
Mr.
von mir.
Delaney.
What? Oh, you're that doctor.
Inebriation aside, do you need medical help?
Yes. I feel sicker than usual these days.
Take this, then. And perhaps you could try to slow down the alcohol intake, too.
Hey, Doc, you don't really want me to stop the only remedy I can afford.
Goodbye, Mr. Delaney.
Jetzt gehen wir zu dem alten Sack hier rechts rum und geben auch noch Medizin ab. Der war doch rechts rum. Ja, hier.
Good evening, Mr. Woodby.
Good evening to you, my young doctor.
Ach, der war gesund.
Goodbye, sir.
Den haben wir eigentlich fertig. »3000 Erfahrungspunkte. Oi, 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 oi. Genau, zu den zwei gehen wir jetzt. Gucken mal, dass wir denen helfen.
Evening, Rufus.
Evening, Mr. Reed.
Do you need help?
A real doctor caring about me. That's a first. I feel like a real person.
A real doctor treats everyone the same, Rufus.
I don't know what to say. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So long, Rufus. Be careful. Take care.
Wo sind denn all die Leute? So, wo ist denn der Boy hin hier? Ich glaube, der braucht etwas gegen Rückenschmerzen.
Do you require medical assistance?
That's something I didn't expect to hear again. A doctor concerned with the health of his patients. Yeah. I could use some help. On several matters, in fact.
I don't know which kind of doctor you're used to dealing with, but it's a doctor's purpose to heal people.
And is it your purpose as well, Mr. Reed? I would say it's a convenient way for gaining people's trust.
Ha! Guter Mann.
Goodbye, Mr. Fishburne.
Achso, so kommen wir zurück. Ja, ja, ja. hoffe, das war Medizin, mein Freund. Und dann auf der anderen Seite dann doch nicht, weil dann weißt du, dass ich gerade teleportiert habe. Hier fehlen voll viele Leute, ey. Hallo, nette Dame. Und hallo.
Good evening, miss. I am Dr. Reed. May I ask you a few questions?
Who are you? What do you want?
As I just told you, I'm a doctor. From the Pembroke Hospital, actually.
The Pembroke Hospital, you say? I ain't paying any bill left by Clay.
I'm not here to collect payment, miss.
Miss Edwina Cox. So what do you want then? Fancy buying something from me, maybe?
Ah! Du bist dabei eine starke Frau.
What can you tell me about your work?
I'm a businesswoman. I buy and sell things, and I send my wet boot boys after anyone who don't play nice with me.
Gang member and shopkeeper. Can't be easy running double shifts.
If you're interested, I may find use of a doctor who can freely walk across the city, you know.
I'm not interested in a career in the criminal underworld, Miss Cox.
Fair enough. Stay away from us then, if you don't want to get hurt, or worse.
Since my return from the war, I don't feel that concerned by threats, knives, or even bullets, if you must know.
That's exactly what that stupid trade unionist claimed after he attacked one of us. Booth and I reminded him a bullet beats words every time.
You're quite blunt, aren't you?
I like people who know what they want and say what they think. This is a time of great opportunity for those ready to embrace their destiny.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
You can't trust anyone around here. As soon as you lower your guard, you can be sure some arsehole will take advantage of you.
You sound like you're thinking of somebody in particular.
Take the gravediggers of Southwark. They must pay me every week, but it looks like they forgot who gave them permission to steal from the dead.
Looting corpses in a mass grave. That is a new low.
Whatever. Hey, since you're a doctor and all, maybe you can access that forbidden area and remind those bastards what they owe.
Really? Don't you think that's a little bit excessive?
Bastards, all of them. This region only responds to violence and threats.
You still use your husband's name, Edwina. Why is that?
Why shouldn't I? He may be a bloody bastard, but I'm still his wife and his name means something round here.
You never paid him a visit at the Pembroke Hospital, did you?
And I don't intend to. In Clay's case, I'm not against a medical mistake or a little help from the Spanish flu.
Das muss Liebe sein.
Tell me about the man you and Booth killed, Edwina.
The bastard killed one of us and received retribution. There's nothing else to say.
What happened exactly?
I don't know and I don't care. One of ours was killed by that communist bastard, but he didn't brag for long.
So you have no idea what really happened, but you executed him anyway.
No one messes with the wet boot boys, Doctor. This is our territory, and this is our law.
And your conscience is clear. You kill without hesitation.
Violence is an efficient tool, Dr. Reed, when used properly.
So you decide who lives and who dies, just like that?
Yes, Doctor. Just like that. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm saying it's my way of dealing with troublemakers.
Ich möchte
Can I
nicht
see
mehr.
what you have to sell?
As long as you have money, I'll show you all I have.
Unsinn. Das ist sogar Medizin. Ach nee, das bin ja ich. Ach du liebe Güte. Okay, okay. Danke.
Good evening, sir.
Who the fuck are you? Don't you see I'm busy here?
Dr. Jonathan Reed, that's who I am. And who are you?
Ah, some fancy gentleman we've got here. Clear off. We don't want strangers on our streets.
So you won't tell me your name, then?
The name is Booth Digby. Maybe I'll ask my boys to break one or two of your bones, just so you remember him.
Das darf ein sehr interessantes Gespräch werden.
Are you some kind of vigilante patrolling these streets at night?
Something like that, but the police aren't in charge here. We are, see?
So you're a concerned criminal, is that it?
Using funny jokes about me and my boys, are you? Fuck. You must have some balls.
I saw many men like you during the war, Mr. Digby. Greedy little cockroaches who feed on despair.
I could kill you for saying that. But, nah. You've been a soldier. I can respect that.
So, tell me about your gang, then.
What? Have you got a death wish? You really want me to answer that?
Well, yes. You seem so proud of your status. Why not tell me who you're working for?
Oi! I'm the boss, all right? The Wet Boot Boys work for me. All of them. Situation round here is better than other districts because of us. Because of me.
Das ist doch eine Lüge.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
Things ain't that bad, thanks to us. We give people what they need, and we control this borough.
Well, you're not doing a very good job. People are still dying here, like everywhere else.
Yeah, well, we can't be everywhere all the time. And Edwina says if we can find more guns, we could be more efficient.
More efficient? Really? You should probably tell Edwina that guns are useless against diseases and infections.
Incredible. You know what? You're lucky she can't hear you right now. She's more smart than patient. My sweet queen of the docks.
Ja, der hat also ein bisschen...
Tell me about the man you killed, Booth. What happened?
One of us had been killed, so we had to retaliate. That's the whole story.
There has to be more to it than that.
No, really. One of us got killed, so the killer had to die. That's how things have always been done round here. No one gives a shit.
Sind Sie... Jemand wird Sie töten. Töten. Eintüten. Sie liegen falsch. Wahrscheinlich über dieses, dass keiner sich darum sorgt. Aber egal, was ich hier sage, ist ja eigentlich recht schnuppe, oder? Ja.
Don't you see it's an endless spiral? One day it will be you who will be stabbed, or shot, or worse.
That's what my sweet Edwina always says, that one day I'll get it too. But she says it with the most beautiful smile, my Edwina.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Ich weiß aber ehrlich gesagt gar nicht, für was ich das Geld eigentlich benutzen soll. Es gibt keine Waffen bisher, zumindest habe ich keine Waffen gesehen. Wo kann ich... Hier. Da war es. Okay, komm. Ich glaube nicht, das würde passen. Gehören die anderen von den Nord-Dogs auch dazu? Die beiden sind da oben und die hier sind komplett unbekannt. Dieser alte Mann hat 3000 Erfahrungspunkte. Gar nicht mal übel. Ah, wir waren außerhalb des Kampfes. Ich habe ja im Grunde hier überhaupt gar nichts eingesammelt. Lange Kreis drücken. Ich habe gerade wieder überlegen müssen, welcher Knopf für was zuständig ist. Also seit dem letzten Level-Up muss ich sagen, ist der Kampf super super einfach. Aber die Gegner sind ja auch alle Level 10, okay, also... Whitechapel. Also, da kommen wir einfach so durch. Okay. In den Norddocks haben wir noch gar nicht unser, das West End, da, die Docks, Norddocks. Hier müssen wir noch unser Save Point finden. Das machen wir doch gleich mal. Ne. Hat. Ich weiß nicht, ob das viel oder wenig Loot ist, das wir finden. Ich weiß nur, dass wir das letzte Mal Riesenscheiße gebaut haben, bis wir verstanden haben, was wir eigentlich tun. In diesem Fall. Ich habe Riesenscheiße gebaut. Und man kann ja nur eine Fertigkeit pro Stufe freischalten und ich habe immer wieder beide versucht freizuschalten, mehrmals. Und jedes Mal hat es mich Gegenstände gekostet. War hart uncool.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, okay. fällt mir recht schwer zu glauben, dass hier eigentlich nichts ist. Was ein Spiel, Wir haben vor kurzem direkt vor diesen Kisten gestanden. Also ist hier kein Safe House, oder wie sehe ich das? Das ist du.
I cannot enter.
That's a pity. Tja, dann links 8 und wieder links. Aber irgendwie... Ich bin schlecht im Parieren. Ich wollte gerade sagen, irgendwie will er nicht parieren, aber ich bin einfach nur schlecht da drin. Ihre Armee braucht sie. Treten Sie doch heute bei.
It's locked, all right. It's locked.
Das ist so ein Unsinn.
You again. What do you want?
I know you're looking for an honest job, Booth. You're tired of this criminal life, aren't you?
It's just an idea. Edwina loves to run things so much.
You can never really leave the gang. Wet boys for life, you know.
Goodbye, Mr. Digby.
Boots.
Good evening, Miss Cox.
Hello again, Dr. Reed. What do you want?
Booth Digby looks at you with love-struck eyes. Tell me, Edwina, is the feeling mutual?
You have no idea how refreshing it can be for a woman to receive all the pleasure she needs. For once.
I'll take your word for it.
What is it, Doctor? A woman's not supposed to talk about these things.
Die verbergen ein weiches Herz. Das hätte ich ja auch von Anfang an gesagt, muss ich ja ganz ehrlich sagen. Deswegen, wenn...
Behind all your crude words and your attitude, I sense romance and a soft heart, Miss Cox.
Romance? I have no time for such rubbish. I use Booth like I use everyone else.
Goodbye, Miss Cox.
Schade. Eine eiskalte, durchkalkulierte Frau. Das mag. Mann. Warte, ja. Jetzt hier links. Oh, scheiße, stimmt ja. Da war ja... Mann. Ey. Sind hier vielleicht nochmal Gegenstände aufgetaucht? Das sieht nicht danach aus. Ich will nicht hochgehen, aber einfach nur einen kurzen Blick haschen. Ja, gut. Das haben wir ganz vergessen das letzte Mal. Dasselbe werden wir jetzt auch hier links rum machen und auf der Seite. So. Also diese Schattennebel ist ja schon quasi zu stark, möchte ich ja beinahe behaupten. So, ich glaube hier rum war es, wo wir dann dieses Tor können wir aufschließen. Dann bin ich mal gespannt. Okay. La Libertad. Ja, ich bin eigentlich recht zufrieden, dass wir da jetzt wieder zurücklaufen. Wir gucken mal hier. Hier muss es doch auch ein Safe House geben, oder? Täuscht das? Einfach ein paar Mal mit dem Knüppel über den Köppel. Also wenn man an jemanden anvisiert hat, dann projiziert er diesen Schattenwurf auf die Stelle des Anvisierten. Wenn man niemanden anvisiert hat, kommt er zu seinen eigenen Füßen. Gefällt mir. Ein bisschen stark, aber gefällt mir. Ah! Ein Armband. Ach du liebe Güte. Das ist auch wahrscheinlich etwas zum Auseinanderbasteln. Wir gehen aber erstmal.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, fuck me.
Speak English, do ya? It's a leak! Get them weapons ready! We found one! He's dead!
Das Spiel wird wohl wissen schon, ob was sie da einen erlaubt und nicht erlaubt. Also ich weiß ja nicht, wie ihr Spiele spielt, aber ich loote und levele, wenn das noch nicht so... Ich habe gerade geguckt, weil das kam mir alles sehr bekannt vor. Sehr vertraut.
It ain't human! Kill it!
Wollt ihr mich verarschen? Jam, jam, jam. Ach, die haben doch alle einen Beutel noch abgeworfen. Weißt du, ich sehe es gerade hier das Fleisch hängen. Und in so einem Land... Uff. Ich hoffe, das ist ja nur die Nacht. Oder besser gesagt, wir sind ja nur nachts aktiv. Ich hoffe, der Tagesablauf der Leute hier ist hoffentlich etwas sonniger, etwas fröhlicher, weil das ist wirklich eine deprimierende Zeit. Ja, erstens eine deprimierende Zeit, zweitens deprimierendes Wetter, alles, Ambiente. Ich hoffe, das ist nur die Nachtstimmung und täuscht etwas. Also, ich gönn's den Leuten von ganzem Herzen. Genau, wir sind da. Und jetzt versuchen wir noch, bevor wir hier großartig mal irgendwas... Weil wir wollen ja zu dieser Whitechapel sollen wir gehen. Und da wird uns jetzt unsere Reise auch hinführen. Doch bevor wir da hingehen, werden wir versuchen, den letzten Doktor, Dr. Rajesh, den haben wir doch schon, den Boy, oder? Ja, 1000 Erfahrungspunkte, was Lappen, ey. Den haben wir geheilt. Wir gucken mal, ob vielleicht können wir jetzt mit dem auch reden. Ich weiß nicht, ob die Medizin auch...
The patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Wo kommen wir hier denn hin? Oh, jetzt hin. Ich meine, jetzt sind wir unwollentlich, zumindest sage ich das, richtig gegangen.
See them fancy clothes? This one's a top.
Oh, ich wollte mich gerade heilen. Ich habe überhaupt nicht auf die Energie geachtet. Was ist mit mir los? Ach Gott, ey. Kaum trifft man, das ist ja so wieder typisch, gell? Kaum trifft man auf Gegner auf Augenhöhe. Was für eine Frechheit. Was eine bodenlose Frechheit.
Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
Was ein Poet. Oh, das ist auch ein starker.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Jetzt haben wir herausgefunden, dass er auch im Krieg war.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Ooh.
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Das ist ja geschichtlich, gell?
A pawnbroker? I expect you get all types of people here.
Yes, sir. All kind of people. For I sell all kind of goods.
Who comes here to trade with you? It's very unhygienic, even unsafe. Diseases can spread. For the customers, for the hospital.
I'm very cautious, sir. I've been a doctor, remember? And all my clients are good people. In fact, I think I only know good people.
What kind of goods?
With the quarantine, it's not always easy to buy things. So I trade, I exchange. Some people sell, some others buy. I like to help.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is, we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Was ein Philosoph, ey. Was
Please
handelt?
show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful. Tomorrow, more bodies will arrive and then sadly depart. I'm managing a train terminal.
Haben wir jetzt den letzten Hinweis für Milton gefunden? Yep, er ist auch geküschelt. Wir haben noch nichts gegen Kopfschmerzen, gell? Ja, dann machen wir doch mal schnell die Mission. Es kann sich ja nur um Minuten handeln. Ich glaube, ich habe in der Chapel jemanden gefunden, der von den Boys gebraucht wird. Okay. Warum hat der denn ein Nelkenextrakt bei sich? Ah. Tactical retreat, tactical retreat. Oh. Sheesh. Kebab. Kommt die Nachricht mehr, gell? Mist. Schwester, ich fühle mich nicht so toll. das dürfte jetzt klappen. Okay. Unsere erste... Was kann die eigentlich? Kann die... Ah, was ist das? Nimmt Blutpunkte auf, wenn die Waffe trifft. Das ist eine Einhandwaffe. Oh, das kann auch. Ah, schau einer an. Was kann das? Ich bin ja beinahe schon dafür, dass wir uns die Gegenstände erst bis ganz zum Schluss aufbewahren, wenn es wirklich dann darum geht, das letzte Feintuning zu machen, sozusagen. Eine Sache muss ich noch probieren. Ach so, ja, wir sind ja eh da. Ich möchte das mit dem Vampir sprechen, die Mission abgeben. Mann. Und im gleichen Atemzug. Im gleichen Atemzug können wir mit der Frau reden und die Mission abgeben.
I wish I could be sick again.
Good evening, Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes. And it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
You have no idea what problems your claim could cause if heard by the wrong people, Miss Howcroft. You must stop this nonsense now.
Why fear the truth? Strange things live in the dark, Dr. Reed. Strange and ancient beings that were here before this island even had a name.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with fever. So many deaths. And what of my own?
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Good evening, Mr. Goswick. How are you?
I'm okay.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured, you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Do you need something, Jonathan?
I have just a few questions.
Then ask away. I'm at your service, Doctor.
Komm, mit dem haben wir uns gar nicht unterhalten, oder?
You mentioned something about a secret society. A brotherhood, if I recall. Could you elaborate?
Certainly. I've been a member of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole for several years. We are pledged to monitor and report vampire activity in England as impartial scientific observers.
That explains your nightly wanderings about the docks and the questions you ask.
I feel it wasn't mere coincidence that led us to that part of town. There was something as yet unseen that set those chain of events in motion.
Yet you don't fear me. And still, you know the monster that lurks beneath the civilized surface.
The Brotherhood has studied your kind for centuries. We believe you are as supernatural as a lion is to a gazelle.
Since you seem quite the expert on vampires, what could you tell me about my condition and how it came about?
As men of science, our first step is always to start with what we know. Forget the myths, the hackneyed scrawlings, and the penny dreadfuls. They do not scratch the surface of the truth you now find yourself in.
The sun. The morning following my transformation. Its rays burned me. There was pain, smoke, and my skin blackened.
You will find there is very little that can kill a vampire, my friend. You have been offered relative immortality. The sun will most certainly hurt you, leaving you weakened and damaged, but it will not destroy you.
Oh.
Must I take a life to live?
You are a vampire. You feed, and blood is the sole sustenance that can sustain your immortal frame. And only a living creature contains the nourishment you require.
Since I'm the one working for you, what should I know about Pembroke Hospital?
Well, for many years, we have been the only medical facility in this part of town that people can rely on. We support the community here, as well as provide health care.
Where do we stand today?
Well, to be honest, we cope on a day-to-day basis. The first wave of the Spanish flu last summer took us by surprise. We lack many of the basic necessities needed.
What do you expect of me?
What we need is hope. You were a soldier. This is a war. This white coat's still a uniform. We fight to help the poor, the sick of the East End, the forgotten.
The man we pursued and slew in the canning factory, William Bishop, I believe, was he a vampire?
He was a Skald, technically speaking. The debate rages as to their classification. Some think them a subspecies of vampire, others something else.
So, tut mir leid, dass ich so lange auf denselben Bildschirm gestarrt habe. Aber ja, ich war kurz mal austreten.
How do Skulls come into existence?
The name means slave. The etymology may indicate that they are a lesser species of vampire. From what I know, vampires tend to despise them.
Just for clarity, what differences are there between myself and a Skull?
A Skull is easier to eliminate, Jonathan, even if they remain formidable foes for the unprepared. Vampires... Now, vampires exist beyond the mortal realm.
I have met Lady Ashbury.
She's a fascinating woman, wouldn't you agree?
Haben Sie mich ihretwegen angeworben? Sie versuchen ihr wirklich zu helfen?
She told me you've been doing all in your power to cure her addiction for blood. Though unsuccessful, it's admirable.
Lady Ashbury is a cherished friend of mine. I would not betray her secrets without her consent. Come to the rescue of a damsel in distress. I ask nothing more.
The matter of Lady Ashbury's blackmailer.
I know too much about this matter already. I'm confident in trusting the interests and reputation of both the hospital and Our Lady into your able hands.
We'll see each other again soon, Edgar.
August, sehr geehrter Dr. Swansea. Sehr geehrt. Wir sind ja weggegangen, eigentlich, weil wir so wenig Energie hatten. Ich hatte gedacht, außerhalb vom Kampf lädt sich die Energie wieder auf. Aber Edgy-Badge. Also das war doch einigermaßen erfolgreich, würde ich mal sagen. Das machen wir jetzt. Zumindest das ist mein Ziel. Und wenn wir sterben, dann sterben wir eben. Wir werden drauf gehen. Und da habe ich gar keinen Bock drauf, ehrlich gesagt. Aber... Na, das war doch mal okay. Und der hat nicht mal mitbekommen, dass 2 seiner Leute gestorben sind. Das ist doch mal Einsatz. Ach ja. Ja, das war doch mal gar nicht so verkehrt. Ich glaube, wir gehen wieder blöderweise genau den richtigen Weg. Ich gehe mich das hier unten umgucken. Ich weiß, das können wir doch später machen und alles hinterher, bla bla bla. Enttäuschend. Ich hatte gedacht, dass wir mehr verpasst hätten. Aber allen Anschein nach. Oh, hi! Betreffer Konten, Vampiraktivität. Wieder so ein Flock. Das sah so verlockend aus, das war es vielleicht zufällig. Was? Arzt, ich glaube, der ist tot. So, Thelma, komm her, Thelma. Thelma! Thelma, ma.
Miss Howcroft. How are you tonight?
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich, vibrant blood.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
Ach, scheiße, wir hätten den Brief lesen sollen.
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have discovered me, but they don't know what I'm capable of.
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Oh, haben wir das Messer noch nicht zurückgebracht? Ach du liebe Güte, wir sind ja...
Hey, Doc.
I have found the gift from your wife.
In that case, you'll be properly rewarded, Doc. Clay Cox is a man of his word.
I hope that won't make me an accomplice to your future crimes.
Who knows what I might do now I feel invincible again.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
So eine Scheiße. Oh ne, wir haben noch... Ich wollte gerade sagen, wir haben doch... Das war keine Optionsgegenstand. Oder Missionsgegenstand, meine ich. Okay, dann haben wir das. Wem soll ich was erzählen? Erzähle, wer ist denn Toria Strickland? Gehst du hier rechts rum, gell? Falsch.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
I located the shop, but it was vandalized, and the owner is missing. All I found was your order.
I was afraid of such bad news. People are so desperate they're ready to burgle a shop for drugs.
That's quite a list you ordered. Opium, sodium hypochlorite. It can't be just headaches you're trying to cure.
This dreadful influenza, of course. I already ran some tests on hopeless cases. Without success, I must admit.
Do you realize you could create a lethal poison without the correct dosage? Then there are the legal ramifications.
Is this not true of any medical substance, Dr. Reed? However, if you would agree to improve it, I'd be glad to accept your help.
As long as you promise to be scrupulous with your experiments, I may try to gather these substances and even help improve upon the mixture.
That's all I'm asking for, Dr. Reed. That's all I'm asking.
I want to know about these secret tests you run, and if they can save people from this epidemic. Speak to me now, Thoreau.
I know I may sound presumptuous, but I'm just following your steps, Dr. Reed. I'm casting away the shadows of ignorance by daring to face them.
Self-confidence is essential in our line of work, my young colleague, but only if tempered with the correct amount of cynicism.
But you never doubt yourself, Dr. Reed. I've read all your articles and books. You performed the most daring research during the war.
Haben wir nicht noch genug zu tun? Das ist nicht Ihr Ernst. Ah, Sie haben meine Unterstützung, komm.
You have my support, Dr. Strickland. I know exactly what it feels like to battle an unknown disease with only your mind and force of will to help you.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. You don't know what that means to me.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland. I can't let Strickland put his patients at risk with opium. Perhaps an adjusted formula will deliver more of a placebo effect.
Falsch. Ich und meine Orientierungssinn, also ganz im Ernst. Wir sollten diese Sachen haben, also wir haben ja genug hier. Eisennitrat, Kalium und Natrium. Kalium, Eisen, okay.
The flower's dying. It needs water.
Ah,
Strickland's project could be dangerous. I have a mind to report him to Dr. Ackroyd.
Wollen wir unseren eigenen Venom gebären oder was? Hier war doch immer was zum Aufheben. In diesem Fall eben nicht.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reed. Can I be of any help?
I have managed to improve the mixture by diluting it. Have you ever heard of Sir Joseph Francis Olive? Or the placebo effect?
No, I don't think so. Why?
A placebo is a substance or procedure that has no actual physical effect.
You made a placebo of my project. Why?
Research has established that a placebo, as long as the subject believes in the effect, can provoke a positive physiological reaction.
Really? That's fascinating. And you want me to, what, administer the placebo and see what occurs?
Something like that, yes.
Well, I'm a bit surprised, but I trust you, Dr. Reed. Please take the key to my cabinet and put this placebo there for future use.
Ooh.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Dann Attacke. Rennen wir durchs Krankenhaus. Fort zum Ärztezimmer. Oh.
It's locked, all right.
Oh lala. Ich sage euch. Hospital von Ackroyd.
It's locked. It's locked, all right.
Das sind all die Dinge, die man bekommen könnte, wenn man die Doktoren quasi aussaugt, weil dann kann man dann die Schlüssel, die sie an sich tragen, entnehmen. Miese Krise. Das sind wahrscheinlich so die guten Waffen drin, weil die Doktoren alle ja so hohe mentale Kraft haben. Und ich vermute einfach ganz blöd, das ist die Begrenzung, damit du nicht einfach hier jetzt wahllos rumrennst und alles abnippelst. Dann hast du ja quasi bis zum zweiten Kapitel ja nichts mehr, was du eigentlich an Story machen kannst, weil du alles ausgesaugt hast und super stark bist. Wäre auch ein Konzept. Deswegen, ich vermute mal... Ah, wir waren doch...
At least Strickland can't kill anyone with this form.